Coming up on this edition of MHS Rewind, we'll take a look at the academic decathlon team and their coach as they prepare for a trip to Texas in the national competition. We'll also take a look at a student who is inspired to write her own play.
And in sports, we'll have previews of softball, baseball, and the rest of the spring sports seasons. Good morning, MHS. I'm Sierra Bauman.
And I'm Presley Boyd. We'll have all that and more coming up on this edition of MHS Rewind.
The academic decathlon team has been studying hard as they prepare to head to nationals. Braxton Maxwell has more on how their coach is helping them prepare.
Studying. A tedious process to many, but to members of Martinsville's academic decathlon team, it's something they do on an almost daily basis. Academic decathlon involves studying on topics such as history, science, and geography, and competing against different schools to win awards. U.S. history teacher Chris Sturgeon had big shoes to fill when he replaced longtime coach Wayne Babbitt a couple years ago.
It was certainly intimidating. I mean, coming in from a coach that's won it 17 years in a row, and I mean, there was 1 year gap there where I wasn't the coach and they didn't win state, so there was a little bit of the pressure off of not being the one that messes everything up.
And he hasn't messed everything up. MHS won state the last 2 years and is heading back to nationals this year on April 19th through the 21st in Texas.
It was still a big deal to come in and be a part of a program that's successful and want to continue that. So I took it seriously. I knew the legacy of the program and what Babbitt was able to do, and I wanted to continue that.
But what are some new things being brought by Mr. Sturgeon? Does he plan on doing anything new? In fact, he does.
There's a new reading schedule and testing schedule every day during RD hour. The expectation is to compete with those big level teams.
And trying to rise above they are, with many decathlon members having a positive look on these new changes of becoming a team more focused on nationals rather than state.
Overall, I think that Mr. Sturgeon has really put the team at a national level of competing instead of a state level.
Although Sturgeon is trying to bring new things to the team, four-year member Joseph McGuire is glad to have him as a coach.
When Mr. Sturgeon took over, it was really reassuring to know that he had been on the team in 2001 and that he knew the method. And, well, the method's kind of simple. It's just to work more than anyone else.
The academic decathlon team practices every day after school and on Saturdays. Sturgeon and the rest of the team members will be leaving for Texas on April 18th. For MHS Rewind, I'm Braxton Maxwell.
On March 14th, MHS students joined fellow students from across the country in a nationwide walkout protesting gun violence in schools. Senior Elizabeth Martin organized the event and says it went well.
I know that most of the kids here were kind of iffy on whether they were going to do it or not, and we had about 100 kids, which for how small we are of a school is fairly good.
The walkout took place in the John R. Wooden Gym and was 17 minutes long. For 14 minutes, students participated in a moment of silence, and for the rest of the time, Martin gave a speech about gun violence in schools.
So what can you do for your country?
The RTV 1 and 2 classes went to the University of Indianapolis last month to take part in the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters annual state conference. Amy Carroll has the story.
The IASB convention features a multitude of different workshops on radio, TV, and film, and students got the chance to attend too. Jillian Clymer says the independent film workshop left her inspired.
That one gave me more ideas, kind of inspired me maybe to make some changes that I haven't done in my previous time in Rewind.
Tevin Studdard spoke at the workshop on music video production. Studdard makes music videos for high school and university sports teams all around the country, and is the cousin of American Idol winner Ruben Studdard. He says he hopes to inspire kids to follow their dreams.
I'm just a kid from Indiana just like them, so they can make it happen.
After the workshops came the awards. Martinsville placed in 5 categories this year. Carissa Wampler finished 3rd in music video, and Nick Holmes took 3rd in videography for one of his news packages.
I was really excited and happy that something I put my hard work in actually got praised for once, and I was very glad to go up there and accept it and represent our entire school.
Along with the individual awards, Martinsville finished 3rd in sound design and 2nd in school newscast and video magazine. For MHS Rewind, I'm Emmy Carroll.
If you're interested in being a part of MHS Rewind, ask your counselor about signing up for RTV1.
An MHS junior wrote a play of her own after she was inspired by the drama club's production of Barbecuing Hamlet. Jillian Clymer has the story.
Several MHS Drama Club students are putting on a new production, but one student has all the ideas.
Well, I saw the last play they did, and it was so great, and I just kind of started writing, and then we got a cast together that was interested, and then I just kind of finished it for them.
What Megan Gens finished was an unofficial sequel to the play Barbecuing Hamlet, and she recruited some of her friends to help put it together.
She's one of my best friends, and she wrote this play, and she's going to direct it and do all the work backstage, so she's super talented. Good person.
Gens wasn't able to get permission from the playwright to do an actual sequel, so she will just be performing a version for the members of the drama club.
I'm kind of acting in a supervisory stash drama club advisor capacity, just kind of making sure that at least what happens is legal and in the confines of copyright law.
The play will be shown here at MHS Auditorium towards the end of May. For MHS Rewind, I'm Jillian Clymer.
The MHS Drumline will be wrapping up their season this weekend at State. Grace Allen has the story.
The MHS Drumline is warming up for this year's show called On Edge.
We did move down a class to make things a little easier for us, but I feel like there's no difference in the amount of concentration that we put in and the amount of effort.
As far as the main drumline staff goes, though, we've had a total switch from what we had last year. Our main front ensemble guy, Corey Denham, has moved on, and he still writes our show music, but he works a lot more with ISU up there in Terre Haute. So in replacement of him, we have our new guy, Jack, who now works with the front ensemble, and we also have Zach, who works with the battery. And then one of our visual techs from last year, Aaron Cowgill, has kind of stepped up and been more of like our main caption head.
Before spring break, co-director Zach Hewitt took advantage of the weather and practiced outside with the battery, while the other co-director Jack Steinfeld practiced in the auditorium with the ensemble.
We rehearse on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays are right after school and we focus solely on music. Tuesdays and Thursdays rotate between music and visual, so what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then we'll also do a full ensemble, which includes the music and visual and putting those together.
The show the Drumline has been rehearsing is based off a variety of Mozart's work.
In the end of the pit interlude, we actually have one of the performers start. We've got six foot long balance beams. We have them start at the end of that entire row of balance beams, run down, and jump off into all the other performers' hands.
The MHS Drumline's competition last Saturday snowed out. The makeup is tomorrow. For MHS Rewind, I'm Grace Kelly.
The MHS Color Guard finished up their winter season with one last show. Grace Ambrose was there for the story.
The Martinsville Color Guard performed their winter season show From a Mother's Heart one final time in the John R. Wooden Gymnasium for friends and family.
Our last show, I was kind of emotional at first because we never get to perform it again. It's like one big family.
The Winter Color Guard finished top 20 in the state and made it to semifinals. The Guard had 3 seniors this year, and freshman Kira McFarland says she really looks up to that group.
You learn like different things, so different skills, so you can always like really depend on them. And they've always like there to like help you like learn, and just it's kind of like your like, role models or like your older siblings. So it's really nice to have someone that like has a little bit more skill than you to like help you progress with your skill.
Mackenzie Creasy has been in Guard for 7 years, and for this final show, she got to be the lead.
It was amazing. This is my dream for like all I've been in Guard. I've always wanted to be the lead, and I finally got it.
As the MHS Color Guard wraps up their season, they're eager to start back up in the fall. For MHS Rewind, I'm Grace Ambrose.
Now, let's turn our attention to Artesian Athletics. The girls softball team has already started off their season. Kaylee Jesse has the preview.
On March 4th, the Lady Artesian softball team began practice with high hopes for a successful 2018 season. Hitting, fielding, and pitching are the three main components that will help the Artesians be successful.
Good defensive team and somebody that can make outs, and we're working on that very hard, so I think we ought to be traditionally as good as we always have been.
Offensively, the team will be led by shortstop Paige Dorsett. The sophomore had 9 home runs last year and is already verbally committed to Ball State. Head coach Ken Roden will also count on catcher Anna Elliott and Lexi Lucas, who signed to play softball at IUPUI. Lucas also leads what Roden calls a deep pitching staff. She's one of the 2 seniors on the team this year, along with outfielder Elizabeth Snipes, and both have been on the varsity since their freshman year.
Favorite part are the girls. I love how close we've gotten over the past couple years.
I played with Lexi since like 3rd grade, so it's really cool that we're finishing our high school career together.
Coach Roden says that his expectations and goals are always the same every year. Competitive in every game and always try to finish high. The Lady Artesians hope to do well during the regular season in order to win sectionals and then advance to the 2018 regionals held here at Martinsville High School.
I know every year we go out and obviously our goal is to win, but this year I hope that we work a lot harder and we all just improve as a team and we get better at working together throughout the season.
The Martinsville Artesians will be back in action on Monday against Center Grove. For MHS Rewind, I'm Kaylee Jesse.
The baseball team is looking to build on last year's success. Brianna Waltz has more.
The MHS baseball team has high expectations for the upcoming season. They are preparing for a chance to build off of last year's conference and sectional titles.
We want to play hard, we want to work hard, we want to practice hard. If we do all those things, we're going to give ourselves a chance to have an opportunity to repeat and be there at the end when the season comes to an end.
Head coach Jeff Scott and the boys can all agree that pitching is one of the team's stronger points.
Pitching's ridiculous this year.
We've got our 2 main pitchers back this year in Brandon Dotson and Michael Hopple. We've got some young kids that they're going to step in and be able to give us some innings on the mound.
Coach Scott also has high hopes for offense this year.
We have a lot of guys that have played varsity baseball for 2 years now. This will be their 3rd year. And experience and maturity helps a lot when you're talking about offensively for baseball.
I think we've been very productive throughout the offseason hitting the ball, and it's going to pay off with all of our winter workouts.
The team believes they are improving overall as a whole.
We're getting better at the small stuff, like Coach Scott says.
The MHS baseball team plays against Greenwood High School at 6 o'clock on April 10th at the MHS field. For MHS Rewind, I'm Bree Waltz.
The boys golf team hit off their season with high expectations. Reed Staggs has a closer look.
The boys golf team has high expectations as they return their top 5 players from last season. Luke Ferguson, Zane Spangler, Isaac Johnson, Trance Baling, and Brady Costin are all back on the course for head coach Chris Quinn.
We just want to get better each match, improve. Once we get to the mid-state tournament, we want to improve upon our standing from last year. In sectionals, we want to try to get our team out of sectionals.
Coach Quinn has high expectations for his top 2 golfers, Ferguson and Spangler. Ferguson says his goal this year is to make it back to state.
I mean, I went freshman year, haven't really finished the past 2 years off as well as I should, so hopefully I can just get there.
Spangler also has similar goals to Ferguson.
This year I'd like to shoot under par a couple times and then maybe get out of regionals this year.
The boys' first golf match is against Indian Creek in Brown County on April 9th. For MHS Rewind, I'm Reed Staggs.
The girls' tennis team is hitting the courts in preparation for the new season with a new head coach. Olivia Osler has the story.
The girls' tennis team has a fresh start this season with new head coach Brannigan Hewitt. Hewitt was the assistant coach last year, but stepped up this year and took the role of head coach because of her love for the sport and the girls.
I know the girls pretty well by now, being with them for a whole season, being with them every single day, and being with the girls so much in practices and matches, I felt like I really got to know them and they got to know me. So I felt comfortable enough stepping up into that position this year, and I just really want to come out and lead the team and hopefully have another winning season.
Hewitt started playing tennis in 3rd grade, and she was on varsity singles all 4 years of high school. Hewitt says she's changing things up by focusing more on team bonding.
We want to be one big tennis family. So the cohesiveness of that is really important to me this year, and also competitiveness. Last year we were competitive, but I felt like there was definitely room for us to be able to step it up and really become a great team.
Hewitt has a new assistant coach this year to help build the team. Special education teacher Jenny Rosie has taken the responsibility of that position. Rosie has coached Indian Creek softball and volleyball, says Hewitt, who also goes on to say that she's very qualified for the job.
I think her experience will really help us build for our matches and build on trying to achieve our goal this year of sectionals.
Senior Marissa Kaur is a co-captain this year along with senior Allie Wilt. The V-Way sisters also returned to the court this season along with sophomores Sydney Smith and Morgan Payne. Hewitt believes that the returning players will lead the team to accomplishing their goals of winning sectionals as long as they keep their good attitudes and positive interactions.
Arties on 3! 1, 2, 3, Arties!
The girls' first meet is on April 10th at Greenwood at 5 o'clock. For MHS Rewind, I'm Olivia Osler.
The boys and girls track and field teams have been practicing every day to get ready for their first meet. Eden McFarland has the story.
The Martinsville track and field team has jumped feet first into the season. Luke Moskrip is back again for his second year as boys head coach, and Jay Seib is once again leading the girls. They both have multiple goals for this season.
This year our goal is always just to go out and get better each day, but also when we start getting to some of our tournaments, we have our conference tournament, then we have our county tournament.
Just to compete at the mid-state, win county, and just try to get the girls' opportunity to just improve.
This year, the two coaches have some returning members stepping up to lead the team, including Liz Cheatham and Kayla Bourbon. Cheatham says the 400 is her best event.
It's really difficult and really mentally challenging, but it's what I'm best at competing at, and it's just really good to challenge yourself in that way. You feel awful after the race, but it's good knowing that you gave it all on the track.
Irwin's favorite event is the 4x4 relay.
I think we'll have a really good 4x4 and 4x8 team, and hopefully we win mid-state and move on to regionals and then hopefully state.
Both coaches say their teams have multiple strong points.
Our work ethic, we've been working really hard no matter if we're inside or outside, but our work ethic's been pretty good right now.
We've got all the events covered, so I look at that as a strength that we have multiple people at every event so that we don't have any weak areas.
The Martinsville track and field team will sprint off for their first meet at Brown County April 5th. For MHS Rewind, I'm Eden McFarland.
That does it for this edition of MHS Rewind. For Sierra Bauman and the rest of the RTV1 students, I'm Presley Boyd.
Thanks for watching and have a great day.